All right. Hello. I just wanted to get started with this. Today, I want to go over trading psychology. And since there's like 15 minutes left in the stock market, I feel like this would have been a great opportunity to really get an idea or understanding of trading psychology. Now, I'm at a Dos Toros because I got hungry. And that just shows the flexibility that you have with trading. Trading, you can be able to do as much as you want. You could trade anywhere. You could do as much as you want anytime. I should say anytime. Of course, there's limitations, but at least you have the opportunity to have access to the internet and have access to the tools that are necessary for you to become a successful trader. And one of those tools is using trading psychology. Now, I really recommend using Brett Steenbarger because his experience and the knowledge that he uses overall is phenomenal. I wish I can be able to record some sound on here so you can be able to hear what he has to say on certain things in the market. But if you just type in Brett Steenbarger on YouTube, you'll be able to see he's a PhD clinical psychologist, and he uses the philosophy of the markets to be able to help influence his trading. And he helps traders around the world, if not just in America, to be better proficient traders. So I just wanted to, highlight that real quick, and then actually go over a trade that I had before where this was a loss that I had earlier in the week, and I was holding LIQT, VFF, VHC, and HRW. Now, out of these, what you see is red, where I lost $2, $26, $27. That's those losses I'm not worried about, but I knew I was on the right track, and I'll tell you why I was on the right track with these stocks. Let's first go with LIQT. I end up selling this just because, as you can see, it's a $10 loss, and it was starting to fall back. Because it was falling back, and at the beginning of the day, it seemed to do pretty well. It was actually, I thought it was going to crack that 335 level, but it never did. I bought it at 220, and it just never could quite get above that. Let me get on my trusty stylus. But as you can see here, it cracked. It got up to 230. It cracked 230, got up to 235, and just couldn't get any higher. And right now it's kind of holding support around this 217 area, and I would imagine that it will go lower. I sold, but it's trying to hold. It's trying to hold this 218 area. So you can see for the past couple of days, this was Wednesday, it was trading around that 217 area, and then before that, a couple days before that, on that Tuesday, it was actually trading around the $2 area. That's when I was starting to see that this was a play to notice. So this is where trading psychology really starts to come in and really starts to make a factor into your trades. So now with LIQT, as you can see, it's now towards the end of the day with 8 minutes left. It's starting to move upward, but I'm not seeing that it will do me much of any good, being that it's trading on the year chart. It's trading and it's showing that it is a red candlestick. And when we have red candlesticks like this one right here, it usually is showing that there is some type of support right here at the 220, at the 220 area. But because this is a red candlestick, I can kind of see that actually filling in this gap below and coming back towards the $2 area. And I'm not saying that I'm 100% right, and this is 100% guaranteed science behind this, but I can see this not really holding above 220 as much. So that's why I got out of that. And having that patience, I was holding this for a while, but having that patience really kind of showed that I can have patience, but at the same time, it doesn't prove that it was going to do anything better than what it actually has done. Maybe next week it might do something a little bit better. Let's go to V, and I just want to show you some of these stocks. Like VFF is one that I'm mad that I got out of. I got out of it after that massive pullback that I had on this day, and I was looking at buying on this day. Well, this day is the day was, what day is it? Oh, the 26th. So on the 26th, I was looking to buy back in, and then I was glad that I didn't because I saw on the 27th it was kind of doing, kind of consolidating. But I knew on the 28th, once it had this green day, it was engulfing the candlesticks, and I absolutely love that it was engulfing not only the red candlestick before that, but the green candlestick also helped show that there was some buying that would engulf all of this. So this, if you combine all those candles, it kind of just like break even. It kind of just like cancels out, but it really doesn't. So, but in hindsight, it kind of does just cancel out and allows this kind of gap up. So that's what happened, and it was a first green day. I kind of like the first green days after consecutive red days, but having that this was the first green day, it engulfed the previous red day candlestick, and it was already up before. It was kind of overbought. That's the only reason why I didn't want to buy it. This RSI that's listed over here means that stock is indicated to be overbought or oversold, and this line indicates that it's overbought, meaning that it is oversaturated with buyers and that it could possibly fall back. But that's a nice little 12% gain that I had. It gained $1.30 on the day, so that was something that I did see earlier in the week, but I was too early. So this is a little bit of something of market psychology when you're not really sure. Well, you know that you should buy equity, but you're not 100% sure on what day you should buy it. So ZFF was that stock that I ended up selling way too soon. And then there was one more. This is Gap. As you can see, Gap has done what it tends to do, which is go up when it wants to. There was one other stock. What was it? Oh, VHC. So VHC, I'm glad I actually sold that. But yesterday it was showing positive signs. Today it's at the 590 area. And as you can see, I sold on this day. I sold on this day, which was still the 26th. But I did see that there was some momentum on the buy side. So there was some buying upward momentum. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sure it did it. It's not overbought. It's like right there, right below it. So it's just showing that it's on a bullish trend. And as I'm looking at it, it's doing the same thing that LIQT did, where you have this red candlestick and it has the wick showing that it could pull back or come back down. It'll probably come back to the 580s. I would give this one more day before it actually kind of shows that it will hold and give you some type of support right there at the 580 level. But as of now, it's not a stock that I am really, really interested in, but I do see that it has some uptrending capabilities. So, like once again, with VFF, VHC, I bought in a little bit too soon, anticipating that this was going to happen. It did, but just didn't happen off the back of this candlestick like I thought it happened after this candlestick, and you still get that engulfing, of the red candlestick and with the green. So these green candlesticks engulf this red, and that's where you have this continual uptrend. But right now it looks like it's going to pull back, and hopefully it might do something similar to that. So we'll see what happens on Monday with this stock. So I want to talk about the stock that I'm actually in right now, which is CBAY. So CBAY, and this is why I mentioned market psychology at the very beginning. Market psychology is a very, very interesting thing, because when you see a stock and you feel like that it has potential of continual uptrending, you allow that energy to fuel you, to move you into buying. And that's what I did. I ended up buying this way, 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 way too soon. And I bought it in the consolidation period. So when a stock like this is consolidating, I actually bought it at 309, 310. I bought it at 310 up here. And this is 13. So 310 is like somewhere right here. So when I originally wanted to buy this, I was on the train, and while I was on the train, obviously I didn't have service, but I knew from yesterday that I wanted to buy this stock. Why didn't I put in a buy order before I got on the train? I don't know. That's something I will probably discuss on a later video when it comes to executing orders. But with this stock, because I tend not to like to buy right at the market open. I tend to like to wait and see. I like to observe. And allow and orient myself to the stock before I decide and act on what I want to do with the equity itself. So I waited to like right around here after I got off the train and was like, okay, it's around this time. Let me see what it's doing. And I anticipated trying to get in originally at 1280, but it didn't. I couldn't get in just because, like I said, the time frame and stuff like that, and being on the train. Excuse me. So I left it alone, and then I waited, and when I waited, and it was in this consolidated period, and as you can see here, it was already overbought. Now at this point, I should have left it alone. But this too is also an earnings winner, so that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to buy it. So I bought it based off of its earnings and how positive of a response it was in the market. And as you can tell, it just gapped up. Yesterday it was around 1150. I wanted to get in today at 1180. Couldn't get in because, like I said, I was on the train. And then now it touched like 13. So, market psychology is a really dangerous thing. If you don't understand, not just yourself and how you react. I tend to, wait until all my indicators have been crossed. But the past 3 days, I say about 3 days, the last 3 trading days, I've been looking at stocks when they're already overbought. And that's not something that I tend to like. And I think it's because of VHC. It wasn't overbought, and I still bought in, and it still pulled back on the next day. So, always kind of cross off your T's, dot your I's when you're looking at stocks that have potential of going upward. You just want to make sure that all your indicators are taken care of. All your indicators are working in your favor. Like I said, I bought this at 13.10. I'm down almost 50 cents a share. So we don't like those things. I'm not one to even hold that long. I'm surprised it even held that long. Typically I would have sold that the minute I lost 1% of my money, or 2% of my money. So being the fact that I lost 2%, and not only did I lose 2%, but it's still showing some type of bullish sign of uptrending. I'm going to go into the weekend thinking that this was a good hold to have going into Friday, even though it's way overbought. And let's say that it does get up to 13. More than likely, I will sell it there because I don't know if it will go any higher, being that it is overbought. So that's all I got to say on this. I don't want to keep on rambling, but market psychology, I will be, I love studying my losers. Speaking of, I studied the loser. I should show you a winner that I had yesterday. The winner that I had yesterday was CLVS. I actually held it on 2 days. I held it right after the first green day. Let's take this off. Nope. Let's take off the axis. There we go. Sorry. There we go. So, I bought this stock on this day where it was just uptrending crazy. So I bought it at $29.50 just because I wasn't sure if, let's just go to the chart. Let's go to the chart. I bought in at $29.50 and I sold at $31.50. Only reason why I sold is just because, I knew that it was eventually going to pull back. And I'll show you why I thought it was going to pull back. But as you can see, it went up to 32.05. So I actually sold too soon in this 31.50 area, which was right around here. This was yesterday. And it was like right around 12.11. And I've noticed with this stock, which a lot of these stocks have almost a similar behavior, is that this stock itself it tends to go until about 1 p.m. and then starts to fall off right after 1. So you see this here, once it has the positive news and the positive uptrending, at 1 p.m. it starts to pull back. And that's what happened here on that stock. And it did the same thing the day before. So that's the only reason why I kind of had an idea what it would do. What it would do. So this is the previous day. This is the previous day. And right around that 1 p.m. time, it started to pull back, and it pulled back heavy until that 29.50 area. So after that, it just the very next day, it went on up. Like I had at 29.50, got out at 31.50. Could have held it for another 50 cents. I didn't know. I already had my $2 a share, and I got out. So I know I like to highlight my losers because I think that I learn more from my losers. But I'm not losing money. I'd rather go over the losers and show that your education is definitely the definition of education really is about enhancing your weaknesses, and when you're weak, help finding people to help you with your weaknesses. So I have my mentor in trading, and this is one of the biggest things that he said, just to make sure that you follow, learn from your losses. So I plan on learning from my loss on here. Like I said, I knew this was going to go down. That's why I ended up selling it. And the main reason why I thought it was going to go down is because on the chart, it was already overbought. It's overbought right here. Nothing simpler than that. Even though there might be some more bullish momentum, it's overbought. So let me just take my profits. If it pulls back and the bullish momentum is continuing to go, it still follows my other indicators, but this is a good indicator to have. I don't want to go against this indicator, so I'm going to leave it alone. So we'll see what happens in a couple of days, maybe even a week, and see if it pulls back enough on the year chart. If not, I already got my profit, so I'm happy. And I bought about 300 shares on this, so So that's it for this one. Like I said, I'm gonna go on Monday. I'll go over on Monday, Sunday. I don't know which day. I'll go over CBay and see how that will be doing then. Right now, after hours, I don't really anticipate a lot of movement. I don't anticipate a lot of reaction. So I'll just wait until Monday and see what's going on. Until then, enjoy and have a great weekend.